Okay, for ne ahwefo sabre yeda mu nyina asese aye ne pe na enne numre nsiasan ahia mu biom. Se da mu nyina munim se da ye ne da bia no. Se dwumade sonko aye Rev.D.N.Adjei or the brain abribia. Na se dwumade a o kyerɛkyerɛ niema ɛbɛboa yɛn wɔ yabrabom. Nyansa niema yɛde ka yɛ abrabɔ ho anaasɛ yɛde ka yɛ nneɛma ho a ɛbɛtumi de yɛbɛdu mpɛmpɛnsoɔ bi a ɛbɛboa yɛn wɔ yɛasetenam na ɛbɛboa yɛn so bɛma yɛbɛte nneɛma bi ase wɔ yɛabrabɔ mu sɛ esisi a nti saa berɛ de na kyerɛ sɛ mensa mmere no mɛma ɛyɛ Rev.D.N.Adjei akɔ aba kɛseɛ de aba ɛyɛ ɔno ankasa ne dwumadie so nti Reverend wei deɛ yɛmɔ akɔ aba kɛseɛ paa. Daase bebree.
Much I came for the better.
So the yeah, that's a bit Reverend. But BBI I okay. Network BBI okay. It means BBI okay.
But you say okay.
Okay. Okay, me check here the back could be. But I see the brain to where the yes, I think some fa ombre. Now obi baby says na Reverend and dear Ben from Kuna and war a day a mine and a day.
Ojo, Mijidi said, I've gone through a lot of retreat seminars and programs over the weekend, now. Saturday, as I was preparing to do a leadership seminar. Now, along the way, I was thinking about maintaining a positive mindset. I did about meeting now. The person a better is something I'm a friend says self-awareness.
Self-awareness,
you know, and it's a Obomodina Ubohuni Pakra. Now, one of the critical issues in me addressing this issue, they say in our discussion, I realized that one of the ways about why you keep a positive mindset is first of all to understand who we are, and to know who we are, and to understand who we are. And I think that there are deeper things we'll be talking about maybe next week when we try to define what the self is. But and I know the ensure that basic part of knowing who the self is now. About why I'm able to establish a positive mindset along the way now. But answer now, maybe next week we'll try to define who the self is now. I have put you in so many contests now. I just want us to, as quick as possible, to understand, say, you got a self-awareness now, basically, having a grasp of who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to do. Now, near my picky Saturday retreat, about me who can say, everybody has three types of identity. Everybody has three types of identity. Now, I'll say the first one, the given identity, the chosen identity, and the innermost identity. And most of the time, I did be a say, your person, now you maintain a positive mindset. We need to understand all these three kinds of identity, now a boy in order to handle ourselves well. Like I said, we will try to define who the self is, maybe next week. But then, maybe next 2 weeks we'll talk about self-care. And for about 3 weeks, we want to be dealing with the self, Meaning self, mean kind of trees.
Yeah.
Because positivity. Now it all boils down back to you. Now, TDJ Saka said, it is not what people are saying that breaks your heart, but it is what you say to yourself. And you told everyone, your man, you probably break and I want to move here because you have not given your focus or your attention to all those things. But what you say to yourself, automatically will have an impact. And to nipa bia na abeta nyame nhyira ma hu se du weekend so aba. God bless you. To nipa bia na dia wankasa wo ka kire ho no. E won sunsanso bebre e wo de obetimi aye. Any adwen kra wo de bobra. And that is why I think say very very important say beti yankasa ye ho ase. Na beboa ye ama yetimi aso ye hu mu ye. Na ye beko ye nim. Just a quick something just as an issue of introduction. The Yaka said the giving identity now. You try as much as possible to define yourself in the thought of other people. You try as much as possible to define yourself in the thoughts of other people or in the thinking of other people. Enti Abraham mi boy say na ni person who me. What do people say about me? I am not saying that is who you are. But probably it's because of an experience, and there are people around you. Abi adwumana okoye no kra no bi wo ho a ono akwase won preconceived idea bi a say utimi ti ase a aboa in your relationship with people. And I thought that you also where you are coming from no kra no obi kra so every that particular position no I display a particular character bi a ama people are formed an image be about that position. If you belong to a party, and also you belong to an ethnic group, and I belong to maybe a religious group, and because of that, wherever you are, there's an identity that has been formed, concerning that particular group. It is a given identity, it's an inherited identity. The more people carry an identity or a parent's book, and they be a display, and these are things that are be given to us because of how people think about us and the experiences other people have about us. And it is our person we are aware of who you are. Or see these three identities. Number one is a given identity. Try as much as possible not to see how people see you. If people see that this is your strength, then you know, and it's a human and if I know the image man for about me, then I'll know where to channel my strength. And I'll see our identity. I just we never said the chosen identity. The chosen identity, I near my one to what Rev.D.N.Adjei, the things that you have done over the period, and the things that you have demonstrated to other people. It is believed that you have decided that people should see you in this way. And sometimes some people are very intentional about the identity they want to put across. And because they have chosen that identity for the people. Now, Obibia or choosing that identity, we share the social media. It looks as if this person is a Christian. Or project a particular identity about himself. And the second identity is what you project about yourself. And you can always influence your chosen identity for positivity. But I'm saying that identity I demonstrated we can always shape it. There was one time about social media, who said it is a public space. The public space, you have an identity you are pushing there. About wow, ama obi they will speak well of you.
Mm-hmm.
And especially obi o so loud and na me baby chat na. Maybe say is she going out? No, I am confused because I just felt say she's so loud on social media to the extent that if she doesn't take care, that chosen identity can create a given identity. Abema maybe to pull guys away from her. Meaning said they make her just yeah. It's what you are putting across, you are creating an identity of yourself. And you have to be very intentional about the identity you choose for yourself. So even though we may not be bad people, sometimes we are creating a bad identity for ourselves because of what we do. And to be what me follow now to the accord of a pentocopal. Baby are not naturally non pentocopal. But any man a bit violence into creating an identity. And this is a chosen identity. Was an identity you are creating for yourself. And also what the third identity now, what the innermost identity. That is the identity that is known to yourself. And so onipa bia and so person maintain a positive mindset. These three identities so our mindset. And it's always helpful if you understand. Say, by now, how do people see me? What is the opinion of people about me? And yes, Christ in a for nam no besides say, Mokoya no nipa ne se mene wine. And a binum kate bunyo di for ni the only day. And obisa one say, Namo Kasan so most mene wine. So nipa se mene wine, what is the given identity? What is the chosen identity? How have I revealed myself? Then Peter stood up and said, David, you are the Messiah. I said, then you know my innermost identity. Everybody has three identities.
Yeah.
What is the public opinion about me? It is a given identity, what people are saying. And in Yama and Crawford, Musame and Thompson, Elijah. Yama and Crawford, Musame and we are John the Baptist. Yama and Crawford, Musame and be away. That is the given identity. But only on man, how have you demonstrated the real you to them? You have chosen an identity for yourself. The people who are around you know that is who they know you to be, and that is what they see you. But besides this chosen identity, you always have an innermost identity that is known only to yourself. And if you take time to analyze yourself, so one guy said that say, "Oh, you realize that all these three identities probably they may be different each one from the other." Now say, identities in Niema amawatimi aye aware of who you are. No, the basic things, is your strength. One can say, so out of these three, said the any person who say, and a nipper who said you are not strong enough, but within you know that you have a particular strength. And if you are out of your chosen identity, people don't see strength, but you know that there's a strength within you. What do? Then you project your strength, deeper than you used to project it. And nipa so as you become aware of who you are and how people see you, then you know that I know this is my strength, but I have not been able to project it well. Then you begin to project your strength. And basically, if we talk about self-awareness, one thing that is very important that what you need to be aware of is your strength. But the second thing I was so aware of is the little foxes.
The little
foxes.
Foxes, okay.
Men can say it is your weakness, but where you easily falter. There are some portions in your life, there are some environments you say, this is my little foxes. One him say about public speaking, maybe I'm called to do a presentation. This is not something that I'm capable of doing. Say, baby, pressure, I begin to fumble and I begin to commit a lot of mistakes. And in order to maintain a positive mindset, we are talking about self-awareness. So you need to be aware of your strengths. I need also to be aware of your little foxes. Environment, there's a particular girl, so who girl so it means that if he's in an environment where that particular girl is, then you know, say, a bomb is about to blow.
Sure.
And sometimes when you know these little foxes in your life, Obi okra the way I would did kojo. If you want him say no, yes, I did where the need you when I thought that be a while first one nante. There are certain things about you and you need to be very, very much aware. You need to be very, very much aware. There are little things that probably it might be a given identity. Probably it might be a chosen identity. If it's an innermost identity, but so what you name so I would say, these are my weaknesses. And then in person you see the word weakness. That's why I'm saying little foxes. These are my little foxes. If you progress at this year, I only said there's this particular topic. I a little fox among. If you progress, I wouldn't say young Kobe or Bravo more, a little foxes among. And so when you are aware of these little foxes, very much important. So that you can maintain a positive mindset. But the other thing I was here aware of ourselves is what easily cause us a pain. Onipa bia na person maintain a positive mindset bia. I was so one day ma oyem ta show. I was so one day ma usu. Adia etimi break you down. And there was this movie that I watched when I was young. It was a rated 18 means part. It's a Jamaican movie, and there was this criminal now you know those kind of gunpowder. No?
Yeah.
Now, the other issue they said the other counterpart no try everything they can do. Then they told him say the only thing Ebema was shooting a beko and it's all share tears. The only thing Ebema was shooting a be penetrate is when the person is in tears. And so Omoko on last show, Ghana Ebeka the last show. Omoko kochine about then they had to point a gun at his head and then the person began to shed tears. That is how they overcame him. And sometimes there are certain things you are very passionate about. It becomes your burden. It becomes something that will put you down. And so it is very important to be aware of yourself. Say, this is a no-go area for me. This is something that is a treasure on my heart. It touches my emotions. There's a given identity, there's a chosen identity, there's an innermost identity. No? All these identities, no, it moves around your strengths, it moves around your little forces, and it moves around what brings you pain. These are the three things you are supposed to understand about yourself. So me mahu oh, me say the nipa june say mahu odini. Nipa june say we na metimi ai. When it comes to your little forces, oh, wait there, and China Mafum wo home. Said the capacity, I don't say Moses growing, I mean, Kasa. So he was aware that I stumble when I'm talking. And so sometimes you need to be aware of all these things about yourself. And I'll just do three reasons why you need to be very much aware of yourself. Now, when you know your little forces, and you know the things that easily affects your emotions now. But the most important thing they say, if you are very much aware of yourself now, you easily avoid crisis. And you easily avoid negativity. The most important thing, there are three reasons, but I think that the first one for me is the most important thing. So, oh, you're very much aware of who you are. The environment you can't contain, baby, udura ma uyam show, baby, and chebia no I am from so Pajoma me akonta bika say what so what or a Christian but who say ya Easter Ghana the bia a star na say fifri at ho or so who pe na say ni minimum ya no e what would you mention and into your yes Guinness hano. Yes, because when he was in the world, he on Guinness, on per club, on per they no me a star. And he said a year now is a star or Hong Kong they want now. It's just an example I'm trying to give. But
Yeah.
when you're so much aware of yourself now, one of the critical things, and that's the necessity of knowing who you are, knowing who you stand for, and knowing what affects your emotions, no, it that helps you to avoid crisis. Because when you know who you are, there are some responsibilities you are. You wait probably to a time before you take upon yourself. Ukro ya sabi ama your problem, so kochira there will get school.
Yeah.
And to maintain a positive mindset, we need to avoid crisis. And some crises are avoidable when we really know ourselves, when we know what we can do. I told you what language we are not trying to discourage anybody here. But language the program here and you realize say be another language, you are probably your pastor, you are expected to preach in the English language. Me, I mean, how do I stand and preach? And maybe because it's a big program, and 24 people, and sometimes you come and create a crisis that affects your positivity. So be aware of who you are. Be aware of your weaknesses. Be aware of your little foxes. Be aware of environment. Emotional and very passionate. Said a very uncreative crisis we are. And it is our environment. We not so good for said some baby sorry. It's as simple as that. Because you said this is an issue that is very emotional to me. So whenever you are in an environment that issue is brought up, and you really know yourself, you just excuse yourself. Sometimes you just go to the bathroom, you cry over it, you come back with strength and with a good face. And so one of the major reasons, and I'm going to say the most important reason, even though the other two are right, I'll talk about briefly. And it said, if you gain that self-awareness now, the aim is that you want to prevent every crisis we are able to throw against you. And if you read John chapter 11, when they called Jesus, said, Yes, Uncle Judah, they were hiding. Thomas said, we have come here to hide. Because and so if Jesus himself will hide himself from the region of Judea, because how much more us? Because sometimes we need to use the kidney some more, especially when you know that these things, if I don't take care, if I don't take care, if I don't take care, I've always said this, a brother, na oh, it was a bizarre experience. So if you know you don't have that kind of capacity to console other people, why do you go into that painful environment, and just stay behind? But you want to be the one to talk, well, you know you are not emotionally so there. Now, so we can avoid some crisis when we really know who we are, what affects our emotions, what our little foxes are, and what our strengths are. We can always avoid some crisis. But the second reason I mentioned agencies is self-awareness automatically is for positive growth. And when you are able to identify who you are, now a good perspective of who you are now, then the weaknesses, there are things that normally can be developed. If you are public speaking, but if you want to be a lecturer, you always stand in front of people. If that is your genuine calling, and you know you are not good at public speaking, then you learn how to do it. If you know you are a nurse, then how can, so you know yourself, there are some areas that you need some practice, you need some counseling, you need some experience in order to develop yourself, so that you can give a good performance of yourself. So the second reason why we really need this self-awareness, is for personal development, personal growth, So that you will always be on the platform where you can better your weaknesses. But how do you better your weaknesses if you don't know? How do you enhance your strength if you don't know? Because sometimes we always push away your strength, because of the given identity or the chosen identity. I thought that you are the nipa can't find who I think there was this put found who but one casa who said there's a strength within you. So if you take time to go through the process of self-awareness now, you want to say, me could I wait me are you? But opportunity na. So why don't I develop it and do it? If you want program and I'm saying nipa who say we be pem, the name say was much at the. So if you take time to go through the process of self-awareness, you begin to get into contact with the reality of yourself, your innermost identity, and you develop yourself, and give a better presentation of yourself. The last reason I could see, and it's one other reason is self-awareness, it's also to make a positive impact in the life of others. We are the light of the world. We didn't say somebody has we all live to better other people. And so sometimes, if you know yourself, when you know how to be of help to other people, if you know yourself, you know how to support other people in the right way. If you know yourself, you know what you can give to other people. Affect you be brave, but at least you'll be a blessing to other people. So when you know yourself, put him say, oh, ade program ye kurana ye MC, chini MC. Maybe I can step in and I can do it. So sometimes just for you to be helpful in the life of other people or in the organization where you belong, sometimes it's good to sit down and to know what other things are. When you're made because it may be a blessing, be here. But now it's an opportunity in my own they don't even know and they don't even call you. But when you do an inner study of who you really are, it gives you the platform to help others. Because you never be brain amaka. The kind of make us say, Onipa be what 3 types of identity. What the given identity, the chosen identity, and the innermost identity. The given identity said the nipa is mufa. And no, a bikra na your fault. A bikra belonging to a ethnic group be our baby, maybe you are the only Ghanaian or apartment out you are the only Ghanaian out him. They have an idea about you. And sometimes if you know all these things, you can avoid some mistakes. Well, I am not saying that it's good here, but a victimization there, everybody goes through it. Sometimes be a class I want and I said sometimes when you understand the given identity, it helps you to give a better identity of yourself. And on the chosen identity here, what people have seen you done. And I make us say that chosen identity, you can always present the best of yourself. If you know your chosen identity, you can always take the wrong out. So you can polish your chosen identity and give your best to the people observing. Then the third thing is the innermost identity. What still resides within you out. If you do a retrospection of yourself, you know that this one I can still do it. Make me the way so I can the mayor. And I make us say the basis of all this identity, is for you to know your strength. So for you to know the little foxes. Mistake, baby, I'm didn't do, baby, I'm to sneak a cry, baby, me yes, me ya, and I said, Mano from kakra. So know these little foxes in your life. Then number 3, make us say then you also know what makes you emotional, what touches your emotion. If you know all these 3 things, it helps. And the reasons why make us say you hear detailed self-awareness, they say it will help you to avoid crisis. Number 2, to help you in your personal development. And number 3, it will help you to be very helpful to other people around you. So that we can be a better blessing to ourselves and to our generation. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, that's Bebre. I think so, Reverend Jumadi, and self-awareness. Bebre na yenenam hono mo a yenim ye ho. And I think so it doesn't help us in tea. I know sir and in church yi beboyen ama yetimi atene ma bi ase. In church nso beboyen ama ye ankase yetimi asua ne ma bi about yen. Inti Reverend Uzi won krofo bi wo hono mo a because they want to please people. They want people to see them in a way. Those identity, is it important? I don't think so. Me personally, I would say it's not important because me and Kasayana, I just don't want to please people. So because of an untina, say me shaping, and I believe I should believe in the ameme any moment. I say I should let people know how I'm a than say memo be defined me. That is why I'm asking this.
Yeah. Because we are talking about this in the sense of opportunities available. To one side, we see the you present different CVs to different companies.
Yeah. Okay.
And then on a chosen identity. So I'm not saying say go and lie to people, but company we wouldn't say I'm here more of this quality. So you write your CV in such a way so you present at least Niema a year more tilted towards that particular quality. And to make us say the chosen identity, what I'm trying to say is in order say opportunities be better work. I thought that you are your Niema be said the real strength within you, people will see it. I thought that your Niema people said Niema be a man for a woman to Nagusukrano. Anka or Munyan Semanka or Munfam. You demonstrate that quality for them to know that Ukrasa or Hokakra. And if you have a voice that you can sing, that could be just sing. Do a capella be kakra. That is what that means. That intent who projected an identity. It's not about say may here to please people, but may here so that if the right opportunity comes, people will not. When said they're making it.
Yeah.
So you're purposeful. The chosen identity, you need to be very, very purposeful. Say, this is who I am. This is how I want people to see me. And so you present yourself in such a way. Say, Onipa behu na enipa bebuwa was happened.
Okay. That's it. That's a brain. Matthew for I think say and I for Reverend Maria. Question bibiara any honmana so bibiara any contribution yada obi biara say mo mobile mo Sunday comment nyina yada obi biara say yada nchira kase ma yeni aba Margaret and sounds na koma a better and do bake yada must be brace up bia munya embre na moba ebekan ho ti sabre the Reverend maybe so say your final way say ebe den final prescription ebe den.
But I think that we need to intentionally avoid crisis. There are so many crises you are told you are very avoidable, especially if we really know who we are and what we stand for. And in America, the major thing America on is that this week he said that I say share what she near my pain crisis ben akotom from so be na akotom. Now we say if I had sat down to think through and to know who I really am, I could have avoided this crisis. Nesha wenim so near my ben or wenim Nesha how I can avoid crisis ahead of me. Because crisis never and a negative mindset no. Now if you boo abam net work baby Both say at the end, you could have done better. But I know someone said, "I'm chance who said this is my weakness." Now when develop once and go so nyakotomu we are na bu abema ma de bi anka nyame peso anam to shirawo na enshira abo. Intimate say this week this is what I want us to do. Let us take time to analyze who we really are. And the main purpose is that we want to avoid crisis. No, we want to know ourselves. No, now yet me the best of ourselves. No, at your tutor. Said the bear unipa betimi relating with us better. Now any pan subeyin shirani and subeyin shirani. I always say in all our thinking, we want to think positive, we want to act positive, speak positive, because this year all of us will achieve positive results.
Amen, amen. Reverend, that's what we do. We can you say already in show be brave and woman rare. Unya ede emai ejwa da bia na woni yen ebeche eye wunim die. Yen say be brave na sa anadwumadi ebebo mo. Na Matthew na what we say ne yebesan ahyia mu ebiom yebesan ahyia mu biom. And I think say Reverend Minimo can say abia next week self care. But minim ti measures next week, but more the answer be beka your hona and also be sua bibi. Say be beka your home and chair measures kobo video no biom na sign eti because nyama bebre na obesua. One can say be na nam ho kwaba na unim say sa niema ni nyina eye niema identify wo concentration gina fa akopɛ nti mefo say ebe better say Oboka ku chi dwumadie ye da maso be nti sabre de abusuafo se dwumadie yi sinas wante nka mo amoba mo am share mo am like yi nyina ye de asara kase ma obi biara nti se mante nka biom dia na ne ye me ne Rev.D.N.Adjei na ye ne mo edi enkra ne sa ti abusuafo mo bye bye.
Ghana fue Rev.D.N.Adjei Epstein fertilizer booster purely organic. Efrasa simu ene de masase no obo de ensa no pe na menua kayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya de aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya soso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye dekorate kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa e de afra na de ma Epstein edan so kra de se enema no wadua na ewuo na flowers ne aduaba no etiti guo no agya wadwo a se wudi Epstein kanu a ene tese magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso Babebre anwadi mu pa eti se no kuafo ebenya sika ene anigye awo mabra bomu a na utimi se enya sam keto akora Epstein e mammo piafo apanifo monfrɛ ahoman na monje nkyiremu ya ehye medie 0552 505723 ana plus 160 922 78043 Epstein fertilizer booster piao mama kuadwuma ayani kapa making farming sexy again.